Hello, this is Cheryl Lynn. I am a psychic, a futurist, and I'm also a spiritual teacher. And today I want to talk to all of you about your spiritual dream team. Now, we all have a spiritual dream team. We have this spiritual dream team when we are on the other side, when we're getting ready to come down here on this earth to live our life's purpose. This spiritual dream team is with us throughout our entire life, every breath we take. And of course, this spiritual dream team is also with us as we cross again to the other side, as we have lived our life's purpose, and then at the end of our life, the spiritual dream team is there to help us get to the other side again. I want to go through all of your spiritual dream team, all the spiritual beings that you do have around you. You are never alone. Never alone. I don't care if you live in a cave, you're never alone. I don't care if you're out in space and it's only you for the next 10 years, you are never alone. You are always surrounded by this spiritual dream team. And if you can tap into this, you really have all the power of the universe at your fingertips. And this spiritual dream team has been with everybody, from the greatest doctors to kings to everybody. They all have the same, we all have that same power that's within us, even like Jesus, an ascended master, which we'll talk about in a minute. Mother Mary, all of this spiritual dream team was around them too. And it's the same power, the same spiritual dream team. And so again, we have this awesome power to tap into. Now, of course, I'm just going to go through all of your spiritual dream team, just a brief. We don't have 5 hours to go through everything and to have a major teaching on this, but I wanted to make you aware of it. Now, in order for your dream team to work, what you need to do is you need to give them permission to override your free will for your highest and your greatest good. Give them permission to override your free will. Don't block them, because that is what's blocking them from coming into your life and making the changes that need to happen. And also, please look at my video about your ego and to get out of the ego, because the ego is going to lie to you, and the ego is going to tell you, oh, this isn't happening, that's not happening. There's no such thing as an angel. There's no such thing as God, or you're not good enough for God, or whatever lie that the ego wants to tell you. Again, if you haven't viewed it, please view my ego video, because it gives you instructions on how to overcome your ego. So once you overcome your ego and you give your spiritual dream team permission to override your free will for your highest and your greatest good, there's nothing that can stop you. Absolutely nothing that can stop you. Okay, so let's get into your spiritual dream team. And there's 7 of them. There's 7 categories here. And so, number 1 is God. Of course, I had to put our beautiful creator God first. God is love. God is neither male nor female. God is everywhere and everyone. God is in every molecule. God is everywhere. The awesomeness and the power of God we cannot understand. It is massive, and yet God is with us in the tiniest of molecules. And I found that when I talk with God, it's the easiest energy that comes in. And God is the only one, when the energy, the source comes in, I get a reaction. I get this overpowering love. I tear up. I cry. Because it's so wonderful. It's so pure. It's a loving, beautiful energy. There is no special prayers for God. God is not going to throw you in the lake of fire. Can you please stop that? That nasty, mean, horrible, revengeful God. Let's stop it. Because it is not God. That's man-made. That is a man-made myth. God is love. That's what God is. God sees us as love. God sees our spirit, which is love, what God has created. Okay? So please, let's get rid of that nasty, mean, I've sinned, Let's get rid of that, please. Please understand who God truly is and how wonderful and miraculous a God is. Okay, so you have God. And yes, you need to give God permission to override your free will. And even though God created the free will, you know, you have to give him, I'll say him. It comes in as a female energy for me. But I'll say him, because most of you know him as him. Which I find really funny. But anyway, you need to give God permission to come in, to override your free will. And once God does, you'll know. The miracles can happen. Now, God has created, to help us, all these awesome spiritual beings that we have around us. Okay, so anyway, your spiritual dream team, of course, the quarterback's going to be God. God's number one with a bullet. Okay? Now, number two is your higher self. Okay, so what is your higher self? Your higher self is the chip off of God. God's love is so great that millions and millions of infinite numbers of chips of love, of light, come off of God. Sparkles come off of God. And we are a sparkle from God. Pure love, pure sparkle from God. That spark is your higher self, your true self. Now, I always show this to my clients, and I'll show it to you. I mean, this is really, I know, this is kind of lame, but... Alright, so your higher self, the spark of God, is the palm. Okay, if you look at your hand, that's the higher self. That's the chip. That's a co-creator. So you got God and you got your higher self, your true self, who you truly are. And then in your palm, you see you got all these fingers that are coming off. These fingers represent past lives, future lives, present lives, all kinds of different lives, okay, that are shooting off of this higher self. And we, in this lifetime, we're one of these fingers or one of these shoots that come off. Because we are learning for our higher self. And there, again, we have lived many lifetimes. We have been male. We have been female. We have died at every moment in life. Different ways that we have died. We're on different planets. So again, it's awesome to think about. But the higher self, again, and also please know that linear time, the beginning, middle, and end time, is just for us humans here on Earth. Okay, to measure, our bodies are animal based and they have to disintegrate. Okay, but time does not exist in the universe. Okay, there is no such thing as linear time. So all your past lives, your future lives, your present lives, and I said lives because even in this present life, there's other offshoots and other lives going on. Okay, which is awesome to think about. So that doesn't exist. So everything is happening at the same time. Everything's happening at the same time. Past, present, future, it's all happening at the same time. But we human beings here on Earth, we've got to do the linear time to measure it, to understand it. Okay, so now we got God, and we got our higher self. And now the next one is the Archangels. Now God has created the Archangels. They're the workhorses. These Archangels are workhorses. They want to be thanked, but you don't have to worship them. We don't worship, we worship God. That's what we worship. You want to worship somebody, you worship God. But the Archangels were created by God as the workhorses to get things done. When we pray for help, we pray to God or talk to God. The Archangels are activated. Again, you must give your Archangels permission to override your free will for your highest and your greatest good. Let them come in. Now, it's funny because I will let you know Mother Mary, this strong feminine energy, Mother Mary, she's in charge of the Archangels. So she's really up there in the universe, Mother Mary. And you don't have to be a Catholic. I'm not Catholic. But boy, oh boy, did she make her presence known. Her strong, I love her because she's a strong feminine energy. She's in charge of these Archangels. Now, there are several of them. I mean, we could do videos on every Archangel and what they do. They are miraculous. They are awesome. Personally, for me, I work with Archangel Michael a lot. Archangel Michael is a massive angel. He's huge with a big, huge sword. He's the warrior angel. He gets things done. He comes in, he's a protector. And he comes in, he cuts in away all this negativity. He shields you. He protects you. He comes in to change your life. He's a life changer. He's a miracle life changer, Archangel Michael. There's also, several others. There's Archangel Raphael. He's in charge. He's a physician. He's in charge of health issues. Archangel Gabriel comes in with my creativity and bringing joy into life. Archangel Ariel. Archangel, there's so many. Archangel Uriel, which brings light to a situation. If you're in the darkness, Uriel brings light to the situation. So you have a plethora of these workhorses that gets things done, the archangels. Alright? And again, we could do a whole video on them. Alright, the next one is angels. So we've had the workhorses, the archangels. Now we have angels, and there are millions and millions of angels. Again, all created by God for everything. The angel of the home, the angel of outside, the angel, there's a million of them, millions and millions of them. We have millions of these angels that are at our disposal, that want to help us, that want to love us. Angels of finances, angels of work, angels of romance. Angels, for me, like my angel of romance is Daniel. Okay, so he has made himself known, and he's, with me. I've been married 32 years to the same man, so I need an angel of romance. And he's been helping with this last part of life, because my husband and I have been together so long. But he's made himself known, and I'm very grateful to him. But then there's earth angels, or the fairies that are outside. But they're close to earth. They have egos, so they want you to become very earth conscious. They want you to pick up the trash. They want you to clean up the environment. But they're out there giving their energy as well. But again, millions and millions. So we've got, of course, now again, God. We have our higher self. We have archangels, angels. Then we have spirit guides, including family and pet guides. Now, spirit guides are guides that we have chosen on the other side to help us here on this earth, to live our life, to live our life's purpose, to live our truth, to keep us on our path, to keep us on our journey, to guide us. Now, and I just learned this a little while ago, that our family members and pets can become guides on the other side as well for us. They do have to go through like a training program, but they can guide us. They can become guides as well. So, we've got our primary spirit guides, but then there's also a plethora of family guides, pet guides, because you remember with your pets, even though you have like a little dog, little cat, there's a big spirit on that pet, because that's what happens is the spirit goes on the pet. So that spirit that's around you, that companion spirit, that's an entity on its own. So when the pet gets to the other side, that spirit itself can be a guide. Okay? Alright, now the next one is guardian angels. Alright, now we had archangels, the workhorses. We had angels, the millions and millions of angels for everything. We've had guides, which are kind of angel-like, but it's a spiritual being. And then guardian angels. Now, I get a lot of questions about guardian angels and who's my guardian angels and what's their name, and there are names. These guardian angels have been with us before we came here on this earth. And these guardian angels will be with us to guide us and to guard us till we get to the other side and make our transition. Now, everybody comes into this earth with two guardian angels. You have two guardian angels. One is the nurturer. When you feel lonely and then you feel like a big hug, or a very loving energy around you, that's the guardian angel just giving you a hug and saying, I love you. It's a nurturing. Sometimes for people that are lonely, and this is the only really love that they feel. This is this loving energy, the guardian angel, the one guardian angel. And then the other one is a little more of a nudger, quite frankly. The other one is the one that's pushing you to do things. It's the action angel. It's the one that pulls you out of the street if the car is coming. It's an action angel. So you've got one that's a nudger that's pushing you to do, and in a nice way too. The angel's not pushing you around. It's doing it in a very nice way. The angels, of course, angels are male and female. There's no gender really there with angels, but they do come across. Some have feminine energies, some have masculine energies. They do come across with their names. Now, for me, my guardian angels' names are Stephan and Raziel. Ragiel, not Raziel. That's an archangel. So I have Stephan and Ragiel, and those are my guardian angels. And like when I do readings, they come forward and we can talk to them, and they're very direct. They're with us. You're never alone. You have nothing else. You got these guardian angels, so you're never alone there. Again, you get two. One's the nudger, one's the nurturer. All right, and then the last one is ascended masters and saints. So I stuck these together: ascended masters and saints. Now, what are ascended masters and saints? Well, now, ascended masters is actually spirits that were here on this earth, and they really made a mark on this earth, and now they're helping us on the other side. Okay? Ascended master is Jesus. Everybody knows Jesus. Ascended master, Jesus. So, how he helps, his miracles, his wonderfulness. His spirit is so lovely. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's so loving. Miracles happen with him, but he comes, I'll tell you, for me, and this may sound strange for some of you, he comes across as kind of hippie. Kind of like a hippie, chill kind of energy. Okay? I don't get miraculous when I get Jesus. I get hippie, chill, but he gets things done. Now, of course, his wife, and I said wife, Mary Magdalene, who was not a prostitute. Okay? So let's get that out there. She was not a prostitute. She was his wife. Mary Magdalene comes in with him all the time. She's with him all the time. And she gives love. She gives feminine love. She gives love. And she's also for people that are misunderstood. Imagine that. She's not a prostitute. She's his wife. But look how misunderstood she is. And she helps those of us who are misunderstood. So she was with me during a lot of dark times in my life when I was younger, and she just gives that energy, that get up in the morning and go. She's another strong feminine energy, Mary Magdalene. Then, of course, there's Mother Mary, and I talked about her in the beginning, Jesus' mother, but she's also, again, in charge of the archangels, and a very powerful feminine energy. She comes across with a lot of grace, but she is powerful. And, I mean, there's ascended masters, there's Gandhi, and there's also, there's a plethora of them. People that have lived on this earth, that made their mark, and they have chosen to help humanity. And ascended masters have to go through a program when they get to the other side. They just don't become ascended masters. Of course, Jesus did. But there's others that just, like Gandhi, he had to go through a program on the other side to come down and help us. They could just be on the other side and be spirits, but they have chosen to stick with humanity and to help out humanity. But again, there's a ton of ascended masters. There's Buddha. There's there's a lot of there's India. There's a lot of deities there on the other side. Now, interesting. I do have to say this. There's two ascended masters or there's two wannabe ascended masters that I want to make you aware of that you might find interesting. The first one is, and he's in the program now, and he's learning to be an ascended master, but he truly wants to be one, and that's Walt Disney. Walt Disney really wants to be an ascended master. He wants to help out. He wants to bring joy back into this life. He wants to bring magic back into this life. He is with a lot of people that, they get in their vans and they drive across the country and they love everything. It doesn't matter their age. The joy of wonderment, the joy of, seeing a sign on the side of the road, or, whatever it is, the joy in life, that they travel around and they just have this joy of life. Yes, they do like Disney World and a Disneyland. they do have, they want to go there. That's their mecca. I get that. But Walt Disney, that he's traveling companion kind of guy. And so he's with a lot of people like that, the ones that get the joy and the wonderment. So again, I don't feel he's a full ascended master, but he's working on it, and he really wants to continue bringing that as humanity changes and as we evolve. And I find that awesome. And now another one, and some people might turn off the video at this point, but it's absolutely true because it came to me as a vision. Ascended master right now, or one in training, is Oprah. Yep, Oprah. Now, Oprah is a very old soul, and Oprah has, her higher self is very, it's like an ancient old soul, and she's got so many lives, and she has known a lot of lives in poverty, okay? But she is definitely an information seeker. Now, Oprah right now is on this earth, and she is like extremely rich, but her soul, it doesn't resonate with her. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I've got all this money. The only thing the money does is gives her access to everything and everyone, because she's very curious. She's like a sponge. She's soaking up all kinds of knowledge. She's soaking up all kinds of experiences. She's soaking up all kinds of people. She's soaking up all kinds of things on this earth. Okay? She's a very intelligent soul. Her higher self is extremely advanced. So when she does get to the other side, she will eventually be an ascended master, and she will be helping out humanitarian efforts, humans in general, but humanitarian efforts. You see a little bit of that when she opened a school in Africa to help people, the poor, the impoverished, to give them ideas to help out humanity. So again, right now I watch Oprah, to see not to watch Oprah, but to see her soak up all the knowledge, and she really will be a very powerful ascended master once she gets to the other side and comes into her own. Okay, and then we have saints, and the Catholic Church are aware of saints, but Saint Teresa, I call on her every time I go on an airplane and I get in the car. But them Saint Teresa, Saint Germain, Saint Francis. There's a ton of them. There's so many of them. I mean, we could go, 3 videos on every saint that's out there. But they're there. They're working on our behalf. And they actually, I'm going to give you my saint. I didn't even know who Padre Pio is. I don't know who he is, but he comes in a lot for me. Helps me out a lot with the readings. And Padre Pio, like when I'm feeling down, Padre Pio, I didn't know who he was. I had to look him up. But there again, a saint. Now, of course, we won't know every ascended master and saint that's helping us, so I just do a general thank you. They want to thank you. Thank you for helping me. I do that. But again, you don't worship them because they're here to help us. The only thing you worship on this list is God. That's it. We worship God. All these others are helpers that God created to bring miracles and change in our life. So there you go. There's your spiritual dream team. Let's go down the line up here. Okay? So again, number 1, God. Okay? Number 2, higher self. Number 3, archangels. Number 4, the angels. Number 5, spirit guides, including family and pet guides. Number 6 is your guardian angels. And number 7 is ascended masters / saints. So there you go. You're never alone. Give them permission to override your free will for your highest and your greatest good. Let them come in and let the miracles begin. I'm a testament to this, and I want to pass this information along to you. So I hope that helps you, and I'll see all of you next time. Bye.